Hey everyone, I am Lenny, and today I need to talk to you about something serious. Something that is happening right now to millions of American seniors. Something that nobody warned them about. Something that could be happening to you, and you might not even know it yet. Today I am going to tell you about the single biggest retirement mistake that is quietly, invisibly destroying the financial security of seniors across this country. And I am going to tell you exactly how to make sure it does not happen to you. Stay with me, because this video could be the most important financial conversation you have this year. Before we begin, I am not a licensed financial advisor. Everything I share today is for educational purposes only. Please always consult a qualified financial advisor before making financial decisions. Now, let us get into it. Let me ask you something personal. When you imagined your retirement, really imagined it, what did it look like? Maybe it was mornings with no alarm clock. Maybe it was travel. Maybe it was more time with grandchildren. Maybe it was simply peace. The feeling of finally being free after decades of hard work. That vision is real. That vision is earned. You worked your entire life for it. But here is what nobody told you. There is one mistake, one single mistake, that is taking that vision away from millions of American seniors. Not a stock market crash, not a medical emergency, not a bad investment. One quiet, ordinary, completely avoidable mistake that does not feel dangerous at all when you make it, but that 10 or 15 years later leaves people broke, stressed, and dependent at 80 years old. And that mistake is this: withdrawing too much money from your retirement savings too soon, without a plan, without a system, and without understanding the invisible force that makes early overwithdrawal permanently irreversible. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Lenny, that sounds too simple. That cannot be the big mistake everybody is making. But hear me out. Because the reason this mistake is so devastating is not that it is complicated, it is that it feels completely reasonable when you are making it. Here is how it happens. You retire at 65. You have $350,000 saved. You feel good, you feel secure. You start withdrawing, maybe $2,500 a month, maybe $3,000. You take a trip you always wanted to take. You help your daughter with her mortgage. You fix up the house. You buy a reliable car because you need one. Every single one of those decisions feels justified. Every single one of them makes sense in the moment. But here is what is happening underneath the surface. Every dollar you withdraw in the early years of retirement is a dollar that is no longer working for you. It is no longer growing. It is no longer compounding. And at 65, with potentially 25 or 30 years of retirement ahead of you, the math of compounding over time is your most powerful financial ally, or your most devastating enemy, depending on whether you protect it. Let me give you real numbers. If you withdraw $40,000 per year from a $350,000 portfolio, that is roughly 11% annually, your savings will be gone in approximately 10 to 12 years, depending on market returns. You will be 75 or 77 years old. You will still have a decade or more of life ahead of you, and your savings will be gone. Now, here is the part that most people do not realize until it is too late. The damage from early overwithdrawal is not just the money you took out. It is the growth that money would have generated if you had left it in. Every $10,000 you withdraw at 65 is not just $10,000 gone. At even a modest 6% annual return, that $10,000 would have grown to approximately $32,000 by the time you are 82. You did not just spend $10,000. You spent $32,000, you just spent it 17 years early and never saw most of it. This is called the opportunity cost of early withdrawal, and it compounds in reverse, meaning every year you over-withdraw, the damage multiplies. Your portfolio shrinks. The growth engine weakens. The withdrawals represent a larger and larger percentage of what remains, and the downward spiral accelerates exactly when you can least afford it. In your late 70s and early 80s, when health costs are rising and your ability to earn income is most limited. So what is the right number? What should you actually be withdrawing from your retirement savings each year? The research on sustainable withdrawal rates, the rate at which you can withdraw money from a retirement portfolio without running out over a 25 to 30-year retirement, consistently points to approximately 3.5 to 4% per year as the safe range for most people. On a $350,000 portfolio, that is $12,250 to $14,000 per year, roughly $1,000 to $1,160 per month from your savings. That number is designed to work alongside your other income sources, Social Security, pension, part-time work, not to cover all of your expenses on its own. And here is the critical shift in thinking that I want you to take away from today. Your retirement savings are not your primary income source. They are your backup, your safety net, your protection against the unexpected. Your Social Security benefit, especially if you delayed claiming to maximize it, is your primary income foundation. Your savings are what you draw on carefully, modestly, and only as needed beyond your guaranteed income. When seniors flip this equation, when they treat their savings as the primary income and draw heavily from them while leaving Social Security optimization and other guaranteed income sources underutilized, that is when the math starts going wrong. That is when 65 becomes 75 and the account that felt solid starts looking dangerously thin. Now let me talk about the 3 specific situations where this mistake most commonly happens, because I want you to recognize them if they are part of your story. The first situation is early retirement without a bridge strategy. Many Americans retire before 65, before Medicare eligibility, before full Social Security age, and bridge the income gap entirely from savings. If you retired at 62 and claimed Social Security immediately at the reduced rate, and you are drawing $2,500 or $3,000 a month from savings on top of that reduced benefit, you may already be on the over-withdrawal track without realizing it. The solution is a bridge strategy, a specific, time-limited plan for how you will fund the early retirement years while protecting your savings and maximizing your Social Security benefit. The second situation is helping family financially. I say this with complete tenderness because I know the love behind these decisions. Helping your children with down payments, helping with grandchildren's education, bailing out a family member in financial difficulty. These acts of generosity come from the best place in the human heart. But for a retiree drawing from limited savings, large financial gifts to family can accelerate the depletion of retirement savings dramatically. The most loving thing you can do for your family in the long run is to protect your own financial security so that you never become financially dependent on them in your 80s. Have that conversation openly with your family. They need to understand your situation so that everyone can make decisions together. The third situation is unplanned major expenses, particularly healthcare. A significant medical event, a hospitalization, a needed procedure that insurance does not fully cover. These can require large, sudden withdrawals from savings that permanently impair the portfolio's ability to sustain you over the long term. The protection against this is twofold. First, understand your Medicare coverage thoroughly and fill the gaps with supplemental insurance before you need it. Second, maintain a dedicated healthcare reserve, a separate, accessible pool of money specifically designated for medical expenses, so that a health event does not force you to draw from your core retirement portfolio at a rate that damages its long-term sustainability. Now I want to give you a simple, practical action plan, because retirement clarity is always about giving you something you can actually use. Step 1, calculate your real monthly expenses, not an estimate. The real number. Every fixed expense, every variable expense, every irregular expense averaged to a monthly amount. Write it down. Step 2. Identify all of your guaranteed income sources. Social Security, at the amount you will actually receive based on when you claim. Any pension, any annuity income, any reliable part-time income. Add those up. Step 3. Find the gap. Subtract your guaranteed income from your real monthly expenses. That gap, and only that gap, is what your savings need to cover. If your guaranteed income covers all of your essential expenses, your savings become a reserve rather than a primary income source, and that changes everything. Step 4. Calculate your sustainable withdrawal rate. Take your total savings and multiply by 0.04. That is 4%. That is the annual amount you can withdraw sustainably over a long retirement. Divide by 12 for the monthly number. If the gap from step 3 is larger than this number, you have work to do, either reducing expenses, increasing guaranteed income, or both. Step 5, talk to a financial advisor. Bring these 4 numbers to that conversation. Ask specifically about withdrawal sequencing. about Social Security optimization, and about whether your current withdrawal rate is sustainable given your life expectancy and your other financial resources. That is the work. It is not glamorous. It is not exciting. But it is the work that separates the seniors who arrive at 80 with security and peace of mind from the ones who arrive at 80 with empty accounts and regret. I am Lenny, and I want to be honest with you about something before I close today. I started Retirement Clarity because I believe that every American senior deserves access to honest, clear financial information. Not the complicated Wall Street version, not the oversimplified version that glosses over the hard truths, but the real version that actually helps you make better decisions for your actual life. If today's video helped you, even one thing, even one number that made you think differently about your retirement, please hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it means everything to this channel. We are a small community and we are growing. But we can only reach the seniors who need this information if the people who find value in it help us spread it. Your like, your subscription, your share, those are what allow us to keep making these videos. Please subscribe to Retirement Clarity if you have not already. Hit that bell icon so YouTube actually sends you the notification when we post a new video, and please share this video. Send it to a friend, send it to a sibling, send it to anyone you know who is in or approaching retirement and who deserves to have this conversation before they make a mistake that costs them their security at 80. And drop your question in the comments right now. What is your biggest retirement worry? What keeps you up at night about your financial future? Tell me, because your questions shape every video I make on this channel. This community exists for you, and I genuinely read every single comment. I am Lenny. Take good care of yourselves, protect your retirement, and I will see you in the very next one.